Hi everyone, my name is Josh, and in this video I will take you through a recap of Battle of the Branches. For those of you who don't know, Battle of the Branches is a way to give back to those who've served and are still active duty. Last year we had 5 boats, and this year we had more than double that number by a whopping 11 boats. I had the pleasure of volunteering my time with Joe Hines to create some awesome memories, and this is how it went.
My name's Gary Patterson. I was a Marine for 13 years and left the service and went into the civilian sector. Worked for General Atomics for about 10 years, and then I currently work for Boeing. All right, yeah, my favorite memories, my Marines, having being afforded the opportunity to serve alongside and to lead Marines. I mean, there's nothing like it in the world.
My name is Nick Peel. I served in the Marine Corps from 2003 to 2007. I was in 1st Battalion, 3rd Marines as an infantryman. I deployed to Fallujah in 2004 as a machine gunner. Became a MOS Scout Sniper 8541. I got a Purple Heart in 2004 in Iraq by getting hit by a suicide SVB IED that hit my truck, killed a whole bunch of Marines, and luckily myself and 9 other guys survived. So it was pretty bad day, but I made it out. It's shaped a lot of who I am now. So my wife actually did a whole career in the Marine Corps. She retired from the Marine Corps in 2016. So I followed her around for a while. I got out and followed her around the Marine Corps for a while, and she retired in 2016, and we ended up in Southern California. So I'm here now.
Hey there, I'm Dustin Everett. I was in the Marine Corps, 0311 Infantry. One of the things that I don't miss about the military, I would have to say, waking up extremely early and drawing weapons for a movement that doesn't happen about 4 to 5 hours later, or turning weapons in. That would be probably one of the biggest things, because I would have my weapon rejected multiple times and have to sit there and clean the shit out of something that was already clean.
Hi, my name is Reed. I did several different things in the Marines. I was an aircraft mechanic when I was enlisted, and when I got my commission I became a motor transport officer and then a logistics officer. I spent a total of 25 years in the Marines. What I miss most from the Marine Corps is the camaraderie, the shared values, the same mission to accomplish. Those are hard to find and replicate anywhere else, and that's what I miss the most.
how's it going? My name's Bobby Workman, retired Master Sergeant in the world's finest, United States Marine Corps. Retired in 2006. Having a good time here with the guys here. I'm glad you guys do this event. Wow, I did 24 years, so had several of them. Most of them was on the Westpacks I did, going overseas and seeing the different countries and taking care of the younger Marines and watching them grow up and turn it into men and women, 5 men and women. So I think that was the best part that I had with the Marine Corps.
My name is Brian Britton. I'm a Marine Corps veteran. I was with Fox 24 for my first 2 years, Scout Sniper Platoon my second 2 years, served 02 to 06, Battle Armada, did all that stuff. Spent 11 years after that as a wildland firefighter, and now I run a veteran real estate company in San Diego. Honestly, of all the crazy shit that I ever did in the military, I think just hanging out in the barracks with the boys was the best thing. I think that's the thing I miss the most, because, you know, it's just you and your best buds hanging out all the time and dealing with the same, embracing the same suck, and yeah, and I would say just hanging out in the barracks with the dudes was the thing I miss the most.
How was it?
Pretty good. Good workout.
Gee, gotta go to the bottom.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing? My name's Josh Shaftstall. I'm here helping Joe on the Battle of the Branches trip, representing Joe Hines. I've helped Joe with this trip a couple years, and it's just an awesome trip, man. You get to meet some cool people, help them out, to show them a passion that a lot of us share, and maybe they will join us in the future for more adventures out on the ocean.
item. That's a huge one.
I joined the Marine Corps because I graduated high school in 2003, and I was a junior in high school when 9/11 happened, and I watched the Twin Towers fall in my first class. I was living in Boise, Idaho, so I was a couple hours time difference behind New York, so it was right where my first and second period classes were, and I watched the whole thing play out all day long. As you know, all of us who witnessed it as young adults or teenagers watched everything play out over the weeks and the months. And I literally, the second I was old enough to sign up, I signed up. And that was, I ended up going and doing, the rest was history there. So I basically signed up because I watched 9/11 play out live when I was a kid.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Master Sergeant Michael Lake Quintero. I'm still on active duty, United States Marine Corps. Currently stationed working for the Blue Diamond, 1st Marine Division. Out here having a good time with the friends and family. Fishing's been amazing. Appreciate all the love and everything that you guys have done for us. Giving us an opportunity to come out here and hang out, cut a little de-stress time to hang out with the boys. Funniest story, I'll keep it related to fishing, right? So I was a young Thundercat. I think I was like maybe 7 or 8 years old. My dad was never a fisherman. I was learning on my own. We're at a public park in Phoenix, Arizona. I hook into a catfish, find this fish. I go in with the entire rod. My dad starts freaking out. He's terrified of water, not a swimmer, and he was debating on the side of the water if he was gonna jump in and save me. So I, like nothing, just come up and swim right back to him, and he's like, oh my God, I didn't know if I was gonna jump in or not. To this day, we laugh about it because I love fishing all the time. However, my dad's still terrified of water.
Hi, my name is Charlie Johnson. I served in the United States Marine Corps, and in my time in, I worked on ground radio equipment, and I was also in the intelligence field. If I had to choose one thing that I miss the most, I would say it's being surrounded by people who would give the shirt off their backs for you. I'm fortunate that I still live in Southern California, and I try and volunteer a lot of my time with other veteran organizations. I try and help other veterans, and I've gotten a lot of satisfaction from being able to be a part of those things and trying to recreate the bonds that we created while we were in the military.
I don't know if I could say that there's a specific favorite memory. I did an awful lot in my short time in the Marine Corps. I 2 combat deployments in both Iraq and Afghanistan, and it would be less of a specific memory because there's just so many things add up, but probably more so the people that I met and some of the dearest friends that I'll ever have. And I'm sure every single service member will say the exact same thing. It's more so the people that I met that mean so much to me from my time in the Marine Corps. Though a really kind of cool little tidbit, my brother-in-law, who after I got out of the Marine Corps is also a scout sniper, so that just happened to be coincidental. So that's kind of a cool little thing that me and him were both snipers in the Marine Corps. We have a big bond there for that. So in terms of just anything funny, my whole time in the Marine Corps is funny.
We were in Oside, Iraq, and we started receiving indirect fire, which is basically when they launched rockets and missiles into the base, not really aiming them at anything. So I mean, they don't really pose any real threat as long as you're not, you know, standing on, like, you know, the exact spot where they land. We were driving guns and ammo back from our helicopter line to our explosive storage area. We were in a Humvee, and I looked next to my driver, and I realized my driver's not in the Humvee anymore. And he had just gotten into country and didn't realize just how frequently these things happen and how not really as dangerous as, you know, direct fire. But he had jumped out of the Humvee while myself and another one of my Marines were still in the Humvee, and it was slowly moving towards the explosives storage area. So I climbed over the hump in the Humvee, put the brakes on, got out of the Humvee, and realized that the corporal had climbed into a bush to get away from the indirect fire. And I look at this poor Marine, and I'm like, you literally left an armored Humvee to hide in a bush. Like, what are you thinking? And more importantly, you jumped out of a moving vehicle and left us in there. You know, it just goes to show you, you know, sometimes, you know, you got to be ready for anything.
I originally joined the Marine Corps. I wanted something different and change. I'm first generation born here. My parents came to the United States. Obviously, I was in a bad neighborhood, and I wanted to do something different. I was playing sports, played basketball, football, and baseball throughout my high school years. And then I had a recruiter in this nice dress blue uniform come talk to me about joining the Marine Corps. I'm like, I don't want to do this. And literally by day 2, it got my attention again, came out to one of my football games, and he hooked me in. Now, 20 years later, I'm in the beloved Corps, still getting after it.
Make them famous. Hold on. Hold it real close to the camera. Yeah! Caught the biggest fish on the boat. Tell us what it feels like.
Man, my arm's so sore.
What number?
Number 8. Stay packed.
My favorite memory was coming back after I was deployed twice to Iraq, and the first time I came back, I remember calling my dad on the phone and telling him, I was like, you know, no one was there. I had to wait for everyone to kiss their families, see the people that they love, and all I wanted to do was just go home and sleep on a bed. You know, it'd been a long time to return back to Hawaii where I was stationed. And the second time I went to Iraq, I deployed back to back, and he said, you're not gonna come home to no one being there for you again. So one of my favorite memories is being able to see my dad in Hawaii, and he said, I never thought I'd see Hawaii. People like me don't get to see this. And so I took him everywhere I could. We went to the North Shore, we went golfing on beautiful courses, to beautiful beaches. And that never would have happened if it wasn't for my time in the Marine Corps. So that's one of my favorite memories, is being able to share that with my dad. I would say the thing that I miss the least about being in the military in general is the amount of time that gets wasted. I woke up today at 3:30 in the morning to come fish, to see people that I knew, and have just a beautiful experience. And I got to do that by 6 o'clock. And I had a bunch of travel time to get down here. If this was the military who led this, we would not be fishing until probably 4 o'clock in the afternoon. There would be 8 hours of your time just getting jerked around. So I enjoy the fact that I have a lot more control over my time and how I spend it, because our time's limited. And so being in charge of my own time and being able to do meaningful things is what I've found I've missed the least about leaving the military.
Battle of the Branches, God, you know what? First of all, hats off to Joe. Met Joe a couple years ago and was introduced to this awesome movement that he's doing, and been a part of it. And to me, Battle of the Branches is just a small way that Joe can bring a big group of people together who have had similar experiences in life at one point or another on active duty, whether they're active now or a veteran, and get on a boat not knowing each other and have a fun day like you've known each other for probably years. You know, share stories, hear different stories, you know, bring back certain memories that you might have forgotten about when you were on active duty, but you hear some stories from someone else that kind of triggers something. But it's just super fun, you know, coming out here fishing. All the sponsors, hats off to you guys too. I appreciate everyone who's jumped on board and helped us veterans out to get us out here on the water and just provide a great day of therapy catching fish. So appreciate it.